Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February the 26th, and this is a look at SPY in the afternoon. It occurs to me that it's probably easier to do these after the close, even though my brain is pretty close to scrambled eggs at the end of a trading day. But it's a lot better for folks who actually watch these videos, because their mind can sort of grind it up and then be ready for tomorrow. So let's take a look at what happened today. Pivot sitting at support level 1 and the 50% fib and this region right here that we had pointed out. So we've got a lot of confluence in terms of price. Now the bounce up into the region gave us the test of the 38.2 and the weekly pivot. Now, and the weekly VWAP. Now, the weekly VWAP is sitting beneath the monthly VWAP, which means the rate of acceleration downward is stronger than the overall general slope. So what do we expect for tomorrow? Well, if we take a look at, let's go look to an hourly chart, right? That's going to be a little bit better. Again, these are charts are by motive wave. They're really great. And I like how clean they are. So let's take a look at this wave. Moves down, pops back here, sits right. Look at where this wick is. All this arguing here. Remember, price action is not arbitrary. I saw someone say something like charts mean nothing when they're choppy, but that's not true at all, right? Maybe to the eye that is not completely focused on the technical evaluation, that might be a little bit tough for that that type of person. But you know, everybody's got different trading styles. Here's the thing: when we take a look at this motion right here, we can see. I talked about this yesterday. Hey, a lot of people play this 50. What's it gonna do? Probably bounce into 38.2. Right? My thought is that it's eventually going into this target right here, but I'm really not going to step out there and say, yep, I'm short. What I am going to do is I'm going to be staring this level down right here, and I am going to copy this again and then paste it so we can have a couple of things. So we're going to look here, right? That's going to be the line in the sand. Let's make it a little stronger right there. Here's my thought. If we lose this level, we are going to tumble. Why? Hey, what's the formation? High, low, lower high. Said this the other day. Lower high, losing the pivot. And these VWAPs telegraphing a lower low. That's what we got. Same thing coming into a lower high. We've got candlesticks that are a little messy. They're holding the lows. This one's got a higher high. We've got the VWAP, all this congestion here. These people who were propping things up as buyers from here are now sitting here forcing the price action down from this base. So we've got a little bit of noisy action if we're looking at an hourly chart until about 149.62, at which point we're going to have ourselves probably a collapse. Okay, let's take a look at the volume. And we can see that selling candles are still bringing in more volume than buying candles. And the overall location of the DPO and the SMI ergodic is in negative trending territory. So what that tells me is that the underlying premise in terms of press is towards the downside. All right, so we're going to be looking at that particularly, see if it loses this level. Here's the thing. If it loses this level, it's got some noise to get through here. So there's a chance that it continues to pop up into this space and then rolls over. I'm of the mind that it's got too much slope to come back into the prior day's pivot. This is today's pivot. So tomorrow, if it pops back up into this pivot, what it's going to signify is that we've got this kind of action in the mix. You see how the VWAPs are relatively flat in this region, except for, you know, that accelerant right there. But right across here, relatively flat. We don't have a flat VWAP per se at this juncture. But if we pop up into this region, we sure will. And we're going to be sitting in between the two VWAPs, so we're going to have a lot of noisy, choppy chatter. So that's going to be the worst case scenario for us as day traders for that event. If, however, we sort of traverse through this and then lose that level, we're going to stair-step ourselves down into these lower levels, and the price action is going to be much cleaner. Notice, near-term congestion always makes the move in the direction of prior congestion just a little bit more difficult. When we're moving down and we get past these levels and there's no near-term congestion, the moves tend to be a bit smoother. All right, near-term congestion gives us a little trouble. Second we lose it, we've got more downside action. So ultimately, that's what we're looking for. I think we pull into the 61.8 retracement event. If we don't, we run a beautiful chance of returning to the upside. My guess is with all the sequester stuff and, you know, our lovely politicians that are seriously problematic with procrastination, you know, who knows, okay? That's probably going to drive things down. Just a thought, but that's what we need to look at tomorrow. Good luck trading. Hey, listen, if you like the videos, register on the website for free. You get all sorts of good data all the time. Take care.